Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Kooplings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. My name is Donnie Reese, and tonight we record episode 156, a hit of Fire Emblem nostalgia. But before we get into all of that news in our news block, let me thank those that help support the PSVG cause over at patreon.com/PSVG. So thank you, Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh the Bonesaw Borboni, Chris McElfresh, Devin Tyus, Kyle Hammond, Michael Masick, The Egg Shin, Zach Bradshaw, Nick Fallhaber, Paul Calico, Rude Days 93, Rob Emanuel, Grouchy Surge, and Ben Moxham. Thanks for everything that you do. I hope that you enjoyed the 2 exclusive hours that you got with Mrs. Worldwide here, Rebecca. We had several folks join just for your show, I think.
Oh, well, thanks.
It's clear that they didn't read the Patreon. They all subscribed for $1. I was like, you're not getting the show. I don't know what you're doing. But hopefully they found it, or I don't care if it's there and they got it. I don't care. But I just noticed it. There was like 4 or 5 people. I was like, I don't think they read anything.
I think they just went for $1.
Supporters of the show.
There you go. Supporters of the show. Game Explain even.
Yeah.
That was nuts. That was crazy. That was a crazy email alert to get. Game Explain is supporting you on Patreon. It's like, are they?
I love it.
Like, really?
We're going to start the show like we do each and every week with what we're into, and I'd like to start because I have fallen for a specific game that is quite good, and it is called Roki. This was in the Indie Direct, the little snow puzzler adventure. If you like Life is Strange, you might like Roki.
Okay.
It's
I gotta
not
check it out.
all that different. Obviously, it's not, you don't have like that third person over the shoulder, that first person look, right? It's not that high of production. It's an indie. It's an indie style game that is similar to Life is Strange. It's very pretty. It's very flat, but it uses not just color, but like lighting really well. Okay. The sunshine almost has like this bloom effect. So a lot of times when you're walking through the snow and stuff in the game, you'll walk through like in the forest, you'll walk through patches of shade and your character gets really dark. And then when it comes back into the sunlight, you'll see a very bright bloom type of effect on the character that I really like. It makes the game feel kind of warm, like it just gives you that feeling of what it's like to be there. It's puzzly, right? So more so than Life is Strange. You are going around, clicking all the things. You find the thing that take over to the left side of the area to find the thing to come all the way back to the right side of the area. I did have to use a guide once. I got stuck last night for about 30 minutes. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything on everything. And then what I found out was there was a door all the way like stage right that I didn't even know was there. And I don't think
there's some exploration too.
Yeah. And the areas are, for an indie game, big. It's not like do all the things on this screen. You might find an item that is used 3 or 4 screens to the left. And then you'll find an item over there that you'll come back and use all the way back over here. So, yeah, there's a lot more, and it kind of, it unravels and starts to sprawl out from there.
So what about it is like Life is Strange? Because what you're describing doesn't sound like Life is Strange.
I think it's just like, first and foremost, the pacing and that whole like walk and click on everything. There's a dialogue for everything. But it's a Scandinavian like fairy tale. From my understanding, I haven't read any reviews, nor have I really dug into the game. I thought it looked cool. It's a good indie game, so I bought it and I wanted to play it, and I bought it. And I started playing it, and it was like, oh, this is good. I'm enjoying this. You play as a big sister who has a cute little brother who gets taken by a monster, and you got to go find him. But in between all this, you learn that her mom's died. She's got to help out dad. You make dinner for the boy. You take the boy out to the outhouse. He's got to use the bathroom. You're kind of like this protector, and it just has a Life is Strange-esque feel in that way.
Like a narrative-driven story? Okay.
Yeah, it's very story-heavy. It's not voice-acted. It's a lot of, it's kind of the, you'll read the line, but they'll do a little quip, and they'll do that. And it's
Is
just
it like Oxenfree?
yes, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Are there
That might be a better description.
Comparison.
Are there choices in it? Decision making?
I honestly don't know. I don't think so, but I don't remember.
Okay. If you don't remember, then probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure at some point you may have an option, but I'm not sure if it has any actual.
Okay, but it's not part of okay.
Oxenfree is actually a much better comparison in terms of describing what the game is kind of like.
Okay.
And then it has all this, like I said, Scandinavian stuff that you'll learn about and words and stuff like that. And they talk about Jotuns and all the other things you'll be doing. And like I said, it gets very fairy tale-ish and there's a lot of things that start to happen. I read a sled down a mountain that was like super fast. I threw pebbles at ravens.
Was there the Scandinavian word hygge? Hygge?
I don't know. What's that for?
Oh, that's like the warm, cozy feeling of happiness in
maybe.
Danish.
Maybe. There's a lot of stuff in there, and it made me think of you a lot while I was playing it after our discussion. There's a lot of stuff in there like that. There's trolls and all kinds of stuff.
I want to play this.
There's
now.
a clock
That's
tower.
Go on my list.
Yeah, it's good. Like, it's good. I played it both portably and on the dock, and it looks great in both instances. It really looks good. Not that, I mean, it's not doing anything, it's not pushing graphics. Like, it's a very flat, cartoony, style, like Oxenfree. But I think it's better looking than Oxenfree.
Cool.
It's very vibrant and very bright, and it just has a lot that it's doing. And it's there. I already took. Look, I took like 6 screenshots. Like my first one.
You took a lot.
When I start taking screenshots, I'm into something. Like when I'm like, I need to take this and start sharing with people.
You were posting them on Twitter. I saw.
That's when you know that Donnie likes a game. When you just start seeing random screenshots coming out, like Donnie's digging it. That's why he's taking screenshots. He wants to share it with you because he's digging what he's playing. So I'm really enjoying Roki, which really stopped me from diving all into the Red Lantern that released today. But I did play it. I died on 2 runs. Have you played it
already,
yet, Rebecca?
I haven't yet. I downloaded it right before this because I was a little bit busy today.
Sure.
But no, we have talked about how there were mixed reviews about it.
Divisive reviews. And I think I understand why. Both of my runs that I died in, like I know why I died. I ran out of energy. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do about it.
But isn't that the point of that genre of game? Like, you're not supposed to beat it on your first try, and then you go again and you get more resources and you learn from your mistakes.
But I wanted the hope that I could have if I had done something differently. But the game isn't really showing me what that differently thing is.
There's no direction to it.
Yeah, there's no. So here's the thing. I've got some gripes with this game that don't even necessarily partake with the game. First and foremost, it took until today for me to get them to respond to Game Pass.
Yeah, that was
ridiculous.
Bad. That was so bad.
They marketed this game a year ago that it was coming to Game Pass. I have asked them every week for the last 4 weeks if it was still coming to Game Pass, and they didn't answer me until today.
Unreal.
So it's not coming to Game Pass. That's fine. And look, I'm not trying to harp them over that, right? But if it's not coming to Game Pass, say it's not coming to Game Pass.
So that you can plan, so that you could have been playing it, as soon as it released if you had wanted to.
Exactly. So when they said it wasn't coming to Game Pass, I bought the game. Because I've been wanting to play it. I like the style. I like the puppers. I like Ashley Birch. Like, all of this is good. I don't like that the game is on rails. It's fully on rails. Like, you are not doing anything. And
I don't think they advertised that either. They made it seem like
when you
it was
see the marketing, I
Yeah.
thought I was
Yeah.
driving the sled, picking the best path through. You're not at all. You really just pick left or right at certain points in the game. And then you have these random encounters that you can choose to do something. Your dog might spot a squirrel, or you might hear something in the bushes or something like that happen. And you can choose to check it out, go hunt that thing, or run away. And then when you pass mile markers, you lose energy. So it's like the further you drive the animals, right, the more energy you'll have. The way that you recoup energy is stopping to camp and feeding yourself and the dogs and getting sleep. But here's the problem. I got to one instance where like a random encounter came up and was like, you should camp here. Do you want to camp? And yes or no. The second run that I was doing, I just ran out of energy because I never got that notice. Like, there's no button or command. Like, I can't go. I need to camp now. Like, there's no option for me to camp.
So you had to choose to sleep, I guess, at one of the stopping points, but like you wouldn't have known. Like, it's
like you have to choose the right path or the right encounters or something for that option to even be available.
Yeah.
And it's random too.
Because it only happened to me the first run I camped, and then I ran out of energy. The second run, I never camped. Like I just ran. I was watching the energy blink red, and I was like, I don't know what to do about it. What am I supposed to do?
You're gonna die.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there. I'm like, the only thing you can do is you can lean right with one trigger, you can lean left with the trigger, and then you can press the X button and look at the map. That's the only thing you can do until the game gives you a choice to make.
Which and then you would think because if you were really out on this journey, you would be able to pull over and take a rest if you wanted to. You might not be able to hunt if there's no animals around, but I feel like that would be an option to do at any time.
Yes. So that, obviously I've only played the game for a moment, so I'm not going to judge the game. Initial impressions, not great. I was like, this is not what I wanted. It's not what I thought it was. And what I see here, not worth $25.
That's so disappointing. We've been so looking forward to this game since the day it was announced.
But there are people that have 9 out of 5 game, 9.5 reviews. There are people that
really
love it. So here's the thing. When your team dies, you basically, it's a dream. And which is weird because you're driving. So you just gasp back in the truck. You're like, ah. and then you have the ability then to either pick a different dog team, but you also, because you have this knowledge, I guess, from your dream, you start the next run with maybe slightly more resources than you started the other run with. So maybe you have 5 bullets this time instead of 4.
Got it.
And I just don't know much about that idea. When it first happened, I was like, that's it? There's no profound knowing of person or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know, guys. And I assume
I'm gonna try it.
We got Hipster Geet in the chat says Donnie getting disappointed by yet another game. I'm sorry.
Clearly,
how did you play it though?
I like Roki.
I think that if it kind of depends, I think on your first couple playthroughs here, whether it's going to click or not.
Yeah. I'm not done with it. I'm going to keep playing.
I've downloaded it. I've already bought it. I've downloaded it. I'm going to give it a shot. Maybe after this, I'll start it tonight. Just to try it out. I don't know.
Just know that you're not doing much.
I feel like they did not advertise it the right way.
You're really only pressing a choice when the choice pops up. That's the game.
Yeah.
The game is, boom, here's a choice, and you make it.
I thought there was going to be more exploring. And
there's resource inventory, so when you can camp, you get to choose how much food you feed the dogs, how much food you feed yourself. So when you camp, there's some resource management. I haven't got so far in the game where I just didn't feed everybody everything. Because when I started, I didn't have much, so I'm just exhausting all of it from the get-go. But yeah, there's no gameplay, I guess.
What's the objective? Is it just going out on expedition?
Finish the race.
To reach the end, to get to the end. And you have a little map, and you gotta see how far you've gone.
And and is it directional? You say you go trigger to trigger left or right, and it corresponds to the map as well, and everything like that.
If you tell them to go right, your little sled kind of veers that way.
But it's also on rails.
Completely.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
What's the point of veering?
There is none. You just get to do it while you're sledding. You just get to do it. Now,
false sense of direction.
Meeting the dogs was cool, and they all have a little personality, and that's fun. We like that. Yeah, we like that, right? I didn't use Slayer. Came across a dog named Slayer. He's black, and he growled at me. I was like, "You're not on my team. Go away."
That's a vicious dog.
And then
Slayer, man,
protected you from bears.
Maybe. I came across another dog. Forget its name, but it was so hyper and energetic, like Flea, that it had worn out a path in the snow in front of its thing. I was like, "Yeah, you're on the team."
He has lots of energy.
And I did record this little video.
Maybe that's why your team ran out of energy. He was too hyped up.
Too much hype? He ate the hype? I recorded a video of the other dog that I picked. You walk up to the dog house. There was no dog in it. And you're like, so where's the dog? And then poof, out of the snow, it just appears. I was like, yeah, you're on the team too. But even those instances aren't kind of like what I thought. I don't know what I thought. I thought I was getting in some sort of narrative. I don't want to say Life is Strange, but a game kind of in that realm. Even the dog encounters are very short.
I heard that you don't really even find out too much about the musher either. I thought they would get some more backstory about why is she doing this. What's her story? And I told you my headcanon is that it's Chloe Price, going on this adventure. But like, I still would want to know, why is she going on this journey? Why is this so important to her? Why? What is she hoping to gain out of all of this? And you didn't get that from what you've played so far?
Done. And I read
apparently you don't get that at all.
I read that in a lot of reviews. I heard her say a name, Margot. She mentioned Margot back home or something like that. Okay. So, but yeah, I have not had enough monologue to piece it all together. It's and that's the thing I was when I was saying about the dog encounters. When you pick your team, it's super shotgunned. It's like you're driving down the road. And she tells you, she goes, all right, we've got 7 stops and we have to pick 5 dogs, which means that you can only skip 2, right? That's what that means. You've got to pick so many dogs. And then it's like you walk up to the doghouse and everyone looks the same. It's like the same snow. There's like a little different doghouse and a different name, right? But it's the same thing. And it's like, again, it's on rails. You don't walk up to the doghouse. It's not like a long walk where you're talking to yourself or anything.
That's
literally,
a little weird.
You're 15 feet in front of the doghouse. You walk 3 steps, the dog pops out of somewhere. You get like one little thing about its personality, right? You're like, Trigger's a bit of a goof. And then you're like, do you want to join the team or not? And that's your decision.
You can pet the dogs.
You can pet the dogs.
Yep. Yes.
No, I think because this is we know it's a small studio. We know this is their first game, right?
Sure.
So I know it's unreasonable to expect too much, but I don't know. I feel like
it's
$25.
It's hard to recommend at $25.
Yeah, it's not what we wanted it to be.
Those reviews said that many people have made it through the end of the game in 3 hours, and I don't like to tie that. Right? I don't like to tie just game to play time to value, but $25 is a lot to ask for, I think, in this market. And 3 hours, I feel like, is kind of missing the mark.
That's be a good 3 hours.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's not like Firewatch or something where you're doing this.
Or Journey or
either
something
like that.
You're on rails.
Or a replayable 3 hours, and it doesn't sound like it's either of those.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Rough.
We'll see. I'm gonna
Pun
try.
intended?
I'll give my impressions.
Pun intended. Yes.
Rough.
Rough.
I'll give my impressions next week. But I hope it clicks with me.
So I'm really liking Roki, guys. I'm gonna keep playing Roki. Roki's good.
Great.
The other thing that I want to talk about is people may not notice because you can only see so many behind me. But today was New Canvas Day, so I got some new canvas prints to add to my wall. I took pictures and put them on the Twitter. And I love Canvas Day. I've been wanting every so often I'll find a game or 3 that I fall in love, and I'll start stashing away like wallpapers that I eventually want to put on the wall somewhere. So my son, who now listens to the show, I can't talk about what I'm getting him for his presents anymore. Like he now listens all the time. He corrected me after last week's show, and he reminded me that we got like the spinner or something in Hyrule Warriors when we used the amiibo. He was like, you were wrong. We got the spinner. Okay. All right. Now listen here, kid.
Okay, kid.
When's Jack going to be first of all, hi, Jack. Shout out to Jack. When's he going to be a guest on the show?
That's probably going to have to happen sooner than later. So he's starting to watch the show. He's starting to grow up. He's almost 10. And for the last, I don't know, since we lived in this house, we got him this bunk bed, a little twin bunk bed, and it had like a little dungeon underneath that we surrounded with like blankets and stuff and put all his toys in there. It was like his little hangout pit. But his room is small. It's the smallest room in the house. And recently, he has been kind of inkling to upgrade, to change his room. He wants to change things. So this past week, I have basically entered into agreement with Jack that I will give him some Christmas presents early in the form of a new bed and some other things that he doesn't know, which I honestly can't tell you because he listens to the show. So since yesterday and today, I have been taking down beds, moving furnitures. We're getting everything out of the room. We're steam cleaning his carpet this week. I painted all of his walls because his walls are filthy. I repainted all of his walls. He's down scrubbing the baseboards. He's got all this manic energy. He's so excited. He's getting a futon. We gave him several options, and when he discovered that there was a bed that could also be a couch that he could play video games on, he lost it, and he is over the moon about this. I mean,
awesome.
It's all day. Last night he was cleaning until midnight. He woke up cleaning. Like this is his life's mission right now. So getting back to the canvases, I bought 6 new canvases today. I had to make room in my checkerboard wall here. So I took down several Pokemon prints and I gave them to him. he has now started his own canvas wall, and he already has plans for other canvases that he wants to ask for. And
That's adorable.
This is going to be the
This
Nintendo
is
wall.
amazing.
He wants this to be the Zelda wall. He wants a Mario wall, and he's telling all of his friends.
That's
he's showing
very
it.
cool.
And
He's like the coolest kid ever.
it's touching. Like, as a dad, I'm just like, oh my God, like, this is so sweet and so adorable, and he's so into it. And I don't know, like, I want to say I'm proud of him, but I don't know reason why. I really like his energy and everything. And it's really, really cute to see, like, obviously myself rubbing off on him somewhat. He took down all of his posters. We had all these posters from GameStop and stuff we collected over the years.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, these aren't good. I need like artful prints and frames. Like, so he's very much like picking up where I am in the basement. He's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be good. I don't want this trash. And
That's
it is,
amazing.
it's blowing my mind. It's absolutely blowing my mind. So I don't think I'm done buying canvases, even though I'm completely out of room down here. I don't think I'm done. I think we'll continue to keep adding canvases to the house at some point. But yeah, so he's going to have a little futon and some other things. We're going to kind of rearrange his room and everything. And I'll take a picture when it's done. But I posted a picture earlier of like just this mattress on the floor and everything, which was also funny and kind of cute because he knows a little bit about my upbringing. Like, I took him back to where I'm from, and, you know, he's heard stories and stuff from family. So he asked me, he's like, so Dad, like, did you always like sleep with like a mattress on the floor? I was like, yeah, I did for years. I thought that's what a bed was. Like, that was a bed. I didn't have furniture. Sure as hell didn't have my own futon, which, by the way, are like super trendy or something, because
Apparently,
they ain't cheap as they used to be. I used to be able to get a futon from Walmart for like $100. And now if you want a good futon, yeah, if you want a good, like, they make like I want to say like designer or something. They make like good frames that people are talking about. Like, if you want a futon, get this, don't get that garbage and stuff thing. It was a little tougher to shop for than I remember, but
Get something comfortable.
yeah, all we did. And that's
sure.
what I told Melissa. I didn't want to get just some junk that he's going to break in a year. That's not going to do us any good. Like, if this is going to, because obviously this isn't just his bed for now. This is bed for the many years to come. So a bigger size bed, you know, is a full size bed and good mattress and all that. So we don't have to worry about it for years. And then hopefully if he takes care of it, you take it to college with him or whatever, you know, too. So it's not that far away. So anyway, that was a little anecdote that I posted the picture about. I just wanted to share the canvas stuff, and I think it is cute, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. His room is gonna be completely different when we're done with it by next week.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
You gonna take pictures?
Yeah, I'll take some pictures. Definitely, I'll take some pictures.
Sounds
So
good.
he's only got 3 now.
Finished canvas wall for sure.
Yeah, he's only got 3 now, and he was looking at it. He was like, I think we can get 9. Like, he's starting to count out squares.
Measuring, getting out the tape measure.
He's like, we get
What
another
games
one.
can I put on that wall?
Yeah, he's like, we can get another one up here, and then like maybe one more down here if my bed doesn't block it.
Aw. Love that.
So yeah, it's been a lot of housework and stuff, you know. So I haven't gamed as much as I want to, and actually, it's not necessarily games. It's really stopping me from the decade of horror stuff. I haven't watched nearly as many movies as I wanted to or should have for the show that records in like 48 hours. It's not good. Not a good start. I gotta really start crushing some movies here soon. But that's it for me for the week. So what about you, Rebecca?
So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I spent a lot of my time playing and reviewing Mario Kart Live Home Circuit.
Mhm.
And we were talking a little bit about what we thought it would be last time, but I did play it. My review is out. You can go on to Infinite and see my full review. It's a really good product for the right people with the right space. It's definitely not the right product for everybody. In my review, I talk about you really need very specific space, because if it's too small or cramped of a space, you're not going to have enough room to use the gates. Remember, we talked about the gates, how you need to use exactly 4. You can't use any, fewer or more
What if
than
you put all 4 of them like right next to each other in a line?
you
and just
can,
ran through
but
it.
it's not going to work well, because in the actual you would do that like in the time trials when you can customize the gates, but for the homes for the like the actual circuits, the Grand Prix is what I'm thinking of. Each gate will be a specific thing. You know how some of them will have boxes where you get the items out of, some of them will have boosts, some of them will have like little magnets pulling you. Each gate has a different like power up attached to it. So if you put them right in a row, that's going to make your race not that good of an experience, because you're going to be zooming around everywhere. So if you have too small or cramped of a space, it's obviously not going to work out well. If you have too large of a space and you're trying to loop it through several rooms behind walls, it's not going to work because you're going to lose connection unless you're following it with your Switch. So even if you have wide, large amount of space through rooms, might not also work. It does work on carpet, but it doesn't work super well on carpet. It's like very bumpy ride, unless it's like very, very flat.
How about the video? Are you running into any skips or artifacting? I saw that in several reviews.
It's not the highest quality camera, but it works well enough. It definitely picks up the gates well. It picks up those arrow screens, like it lights that up. Like it actually makes it so that you definitely see it. I was putting amiibos lining my my like raceway that I had made.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a little bit hard to see them. Like it's kind of like a blurry, like muddied look a little bit too much if you don't have like the exact right lighting. My room was pretty well lit, but it was still a little bit hard to see. But the camera, I feel like for the price that the camera on it is fine.
Is there no way to customize like the exposure, the brightness in the room or anything?
Not that I've seen, no.
Okay.
No, you can't change the camera. I didn't see anything like that in the settings. So the tech part of it is good, and the game really does have a lot of content built in. There's 24 courses in the Grand Prix that are unlocked from the start. So it's different themes, like the Cheap Beach is like kind of more underwater themed. There's like the desert theme. There's its own version of Rainbow Road, like a construction type theme. So there is a lot of content in that regard, and there's a lot of unlockables too. You can unlock radio stations, kart customizations, outfits for Mario or Luigi, different environments to use. So there's a lot of both, come out of the box content and unlockable content. So in that regard, is really good. But if you don't have the exact setup,
if it doesn't work for you,
it, you're gonna have a hard time coming up with a course.
That's no different than VR, really, right? Like VR doesn't work for everybody. How long did it take for you to set up what you would consider a good course?
That's the other thing, because when I first set it up, I just kind of did like a loop in a circle, and it was fine. It was fun. It was just kind of getting it set up, but the course wasn't really anything all that interesting. Then the second time when I was setting up a better course, I probably spent about 30 minutes like lining up everything, and it still wasn't as good as it could have been. It was just kind of making a more elaborate pathway with my
talk about load times.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because the only thing about it is I was okay with setting that up and having
that's the fun part. Yeah, that's the fun part of the game.
Whatever I did with it, and I had to take it down. But the only thing is, I feel like I'm not super motivated to go set all of that up again to go play it. And I feel like kids will be that way too. The kids might be excited to set up the first time. Next time, are they really going to go out and build all of this again? This thing that's going to take them 30 an hour.
That's a big part of why I passed on pre-ordering. I've had all the VRs. I've had the Oculus. I had the PlayStation VR. When I got both of them, the first week we got them, my kids played them nonstop. Victoria loves those dance Beat Saber things. That's her favorite stuff. After a week, they just sat there.
Yeah,
I had an Oculus sit in its case for like 2 months. And I was like, why do I have this? Nobody's playing it. Why do I have this? And I could only imagine that this would be the same exact thing.
Because doing it the first time, the novelty of it is very fun. I felt very excited to set it all up. They make you take a little picture of yourself for a driver's license. It's cool. I
think the social aspects of this outweigh the actual...
But then there's a downfall with that too, because there's not the 2 carts that come in the box. And I think that's a huge downfall, because when you think of Mario Kart, you think of multiplayer with friends, family, whoever.
Race with one another, yeah.
And
totally.
To Mario Kart by themselves. One player out of the box is so disappointing. Even if it, it's just, I think it really would benefit from coming with 2 in the box and maybe being able to
Switch
play,
Lite.
Split
Basically.
That's a system.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. It really is. So that part's disappointing. And I do wish that, I had set up this really awesome course. I wish somehow that they made it so that you could kind of do a drive-by recording of it, and it would save it. Maybe you could save up to 3 courses and then maybe not be able to play it with the actual physical cart next time you want to play it. Maybe you just play it on your Switch, which wouldn't be as cool, but at least if you made this cool, awesome course,
You could relive it.
you could relive it,
Yeah.
on your screens, on the video recorded. Maybe you can't go too far out of bounds because you didn't record that, but you would be able to preserve what you built.
Yeah, as long as you stayed within the boundaries of the course lines, like they already have the video, just let you play with it. But I guess they would have to like start and stop the video as you were playing and progressing with your cart. And I mean, I guess that does sound pretty hard. But I agree with you because
it's disappointing.
I was thinking that it would at least be nice to save the video so you could go back and look at it. Because what I was more,
watch it,
at least what I was concerned with about this game is you make a really awesome design, but how many times do you want to play the same course over and over again? Very few. Like even in Mario Kart
like
now,
twice
it's
at
like,
max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. After you do 2 or 3 runs, okay, it's time to play a different course. So
Yeah.
you change the course and you do that 9 times, and out of those 9 times, you realize that second one was your favorite one. But how exactly did we set that one up? I don't remember. Like it would be cool if you had that ability to be like, let's go remember. Oh, that's right. We put this here. We put that there. Yeah, there's none of that. Did you encounter any like animal hair issues?
No, because I don't have pets anymore.
Oh, okay.
But I can imagine. So there is like the tires do get like a little bit dirty like on the floor. So I can imagine that could happen. It doesn't seem like it would be too hard to clean off if that did happen.
The review that I'm referring to was IGN's review.
Yeah, I remember IGN's
Yeah,
review
she had
too.
several cats and stuff, and she mentioned that she had to, I think it was Janet, right? She had to pop the wheels off and pull
Literally
the
took the-
hairs out of the axle because the cars stopped working.
Mhm.
And that was probably the straw that broke my camel's back because I have all the animals. I was like, well, this just won't work here. We are just not the people.
I have another question. How does like the AR kind of stuff, like how does it blend with like the course you made? Is it pretty well put together when you put obstructions in there or ramps or anything?
Yeah, so I didn't really do anything like ramps or tunnels or anything, but it mostly only reads it on or around the gates. So when you're doing one of the Grand Prix, you have the I think it's like 4 of the Koopalings who are racing you. So they kind of go around and stuff. They will clip through walls. If you get stuck, it doesn't matter.
Oh, wow,
They'll go through the walls. They don't really care. They don't really follow the actual path. So they'll never get stuck. You can kind of go through there as well. Through the like past them. Instead of going around them, you can just kind of go through them. So they don't really bother you. Then like you drop things like bananas and stuff, those just kind of go on top. It's like kind of like imagine a filter on a picture.
Okay.
It just kind of places on top of it. It's not really like smart technology.
How does
or
it look?
anything
Does
like
it look real flat? Does it look nice? Is it like a model?
it looks nice. So
good.
the one screenshot that I did post on my review has Cheap Beach, so you can kind of see like most of the animations are around each of the gates because that's what it reads.
Yeah.
So
Got
like
it.
you like little fish swimming by the gates and stuff like that, and that's where most of the hazards are too. When you come across like hazards on the courses, the 24 Grand Prix courses are pretty good. Like those do change up your course enough because you're experiencing different things within them. But you're right; it's the same like layout every time.
Hipster
Got
Pop
it.
Geek in the chat once he says that he noticed the computer carts don't follow the track. That
No,
well.
they don't. They don't follow the track. They will
That's
go
not
through
good.
walls. They just go.
I was going to ask,
Because
so
they-
like if your cat or something walks in front of them, do they get stopped or they just
No.
keep?
No.
Okay.
They'll keep going. Yeah.
Flip through everything. They do not. The only times that they spin out are like if you hit them with a banana or a shell or something.
Yeah,
That's
I was
weird.
thinking.
They don't
there's-
really pay attention to the environment.
Yeah, there's no interactivity with the image of that camera with the AR. There's just
No,
probably
it's not
nothing.
like smart technology like that. No.
It's assuming like the bots are probably on a flat plane with the camera,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yep.
Like if you go up a ramp, probably like the Koopas will probably like jump up, like where the
Probably,
plane
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I think that's what's gonna happen. So
Mhm.
Do you know what
That's
this in the Red Lantern is doing for me? making it more likely I'm going to play Crown Tundra because I got nothing else.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know what else I'm going to play. Guys.
You're going to resort to that.
No, but again, like I would, for the right people with the right space, this is a good game. The technology does work. I didn't really experience any glitches or problems except for if I went too far or went behind. It did go behind a wall and it worked okay, but if it was behind like 2 walls, it doesn't work.
You think it's worth the price? Like, would you recommend it to somebody that's asking if they need to spend $100?
If you know you're going to play it more than once or twice, yeah, it could be.
For an only child, yes.
If you're going to play it once, or kids, yeah, only child or kids who can share really well. I think it could be a good Christmas present if you think that they're going to play it, more than just once. It made me more than anything want a new traditional Mario Kart on the Switch. Because as soon as I finished playing that, I'm like, you know what? I can boot up Mario Kart 8 right now. Like, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, but we've all played that into death. Like, I'm with you. I'm ready for a new Mario Kart. Like, let's get a real, legit Mario Kart. Full-on multiplayer, all the online stuff, Black Fort, all the things. Because Mario Kart 8 is incredible, but its battle mode blows.
I don't even know. Yeah, I didn't even play the
It's
battle
not
mode,
good.
probably.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I have fun with the battle mode. It's just all old now. I feel like I played it to death.
Yeah, yeah, because I've been playing it for, 8 years? So a lot of people have I've only played Mario Kart 8 for 2 years. Well, and you add the 5 Wii U years to that, and that's how long I've been playing Mario Kart 8. Like, I've been playing Mario Kart 8 forever. Look here, we have Jaros who says, Rebecca, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe PSVG Tournament. We've done 12 of those. We've done a bunch of them. So, I don't know. Like, I think every time anybody says Mario Kart, and the funny thing is we always have people. We've never not had people when we've done a Mario Kart tournament.
It's been a while. We should do another one.
I'd be open to it, but I'm not that doesn't really excite me. And I can tell you this.
Let's just do it Among Us.
We have a lot of games coming out in about 20-ish days. And once those games coming out, I'm not stopping anything to play Mario Kart.
It's going to be bad.
No thanks. I'll be out of it. So we have to wait until after Age of Calamity and the other games come out a little bit to do a Mario Kart 8 tournament. Maybe Christmas we'll do a kart tournament.
The only other thing that I've been playing besides Mario Kart Live is I beat Earthworm Jim. I started it last week. Tough as nails game, super quirky, super crude humor. I did beat it. I used save states. I used cheat codes for infinite lives. I don't care. I would never have beat it without that. It's a funny game. I like how it doesn't take itself too seriously. Back then, I think the games are meant to be very hard. I liked how in the first level, you launch a cow to get through one of the obstacles. It's like the first thing that you do in the game. Like, you have to drop the thing on the cow to get through, and it launches it. I'm like, okay, that's super random. At the very end of the game, after you beat the final boss and you see Princess, her name's Princess what's her name, making fun of all the princesses you have to save in video games. You see her and you're about to go rescue her, and then a cow comes and crushes her to death. So it's the cow that you launched in the first level crushes her.
Nice.
I don't know. I think that humor is kind of funny. I liked it. Hard levels, but some of them were very the gimmicks to them were really fun. Like, that submarine level was very hard, but then there was an escort mission where you got to save the puppy from falling into the traps and stuff like that. So I'm glad that I played it. It was a good experience just to kind of see what Earthworm Jim was all about.
When was this made? Mid-90s?
94, I think.
94, yeah. Okay. It's a different time back then.
They're very different time. There's some things that you probably wouldn't be able to do in games now.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I've been up to.
I'll be very quick. First off, Genshin Impact. I'm playing it every day, and I'm playing hours on end. I don't know when to stop.
Lots of people are. You posted that thing that's getting lots of coverage.
Yeah, lots of coverage on mobile, and also the streamers. I watch Lizabelle and then a popular streamer, just back and forth, just watching other people play it on raids and stuff like that. I've gotten to the point where I haven't finished the story.
Do you
but
think they should
time.
have to pay Genshin Impact to stream the game?
Oh my gosh, that was a big
That
thing.
was.
Can you believe that?
Let me tell you, sir.
Good job, Stadia developer. That's going to go well for your platform.
creative director for a random studio that works for Google Stadia. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Not only streamers were ripping him, but developers were ripping him too.
Basically, everybody was. That's a really
like-
bad take.
That's a really yeah.
I
was
understand like kind of the point he's trying to make, but it doesn't apply to streaming. Has been such a boon to video games this generation. There's a reason why
marketing.
year over year we have more consoles sold, more games sold, more players than we've ever had before. You don't think streaming and esports have been a big part of that? I think they go hand in hand.
Among Us developers are thrilled that their game
Yes.
was.
Oh, I bet. It was like we canceling this sequel. Let's just support this.
There's a reason
game
why
now.
publishers and marketers pay streamers to play their games, to show it to other people. Yeah, this is a big part of the business. To even have that take is, it's just missing the forest for the trees. It's like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's like I like your little like
off-putting take there.
Yeah, like your little
That's
like
trying to make sense.
I'm gonna fight for the justice, but it's like there are much bigger injustices to be worried about for the developers than this.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure the Genshin Impact developers they don't mind people playing it free.
I know they
on
paid
stream.
people to play. That
Oh, they
first
paid-
beta
for sure.
test, yeah, they were paying people to play it, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it. That's good.
I'm playing many different characters in different parties and different setups. I've gotten to the point where I just do daily challenges. So you just go around the map and you just do these challenges, whether it's like you help a boy, feed ducks some wheat, or like you kill a bunch of monsters, or there's different challenges to each of these like missions too, where there could be a time limit. And this time limit depends on how much monsters you kill as well. You can rack up to a certain time, and that keeps you on your toes very fast. But other than that, I haven't finished the story yet because your rank needs to be so high to go to the next mission. And Rebecca's laughing, and I don't know why. But anyways,
keep going.
Genshin Impact is good. I can't wait it comes out on Switch, and hopefully it's cross save. And I'll leave it at that. I'm just obsessed with it right now. I'm not paying for stuff, but I'm tempted to like, hey, I'll pay $5 to get a pack or something.
Don't you like that? I feel good about that when
I feel like that's fine to do.
yeah, like when a game really gets you and you're enjoying it, it's like pay that forward. Let them know.
Yeah.
I want to finish the game first, or the story.
How much have you put into this game overall?
Probably since now, maybe like 12 hours, 13
No.
hours.
Money.
Oh, money? No, $0.
Dude, give them some money. You've played it for 12 hours.
I'm gonna wait till I finish the story
No, don't
and
beat
see
their
if I keep
whole
on
game
going.
and then decide not to give them any money. Let them have some money.
And then they just released a brand new character it's this little girl, this little child just throwing firebombs, and it's super
This
adorable.
is who the Google Stadia
sounds
guys should be
amazing.
mad at. They should be mad at Garrett, not the streamers that stream the game.
Hey, that's how this game works. The gacha scheme works. They don't
true.
get me, but they get a lot of other people.
Isn't it those gacha models? They only get like 1% of people to pay, but those 1% pay a
The
lot.
1% typically pay like 80% of the revenue. It is like those die hard. They call them like whales, like those folks that really drop lots. I know Fire Emblem was big on that.
That was
It's a
really
folks
good,
that-
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because people are playing it on mobile too, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people on mobile that are going to pay hundreds of dollars.
That's
Like,
insane.
And they don't even know it. It's like
I'm
well,
always
this is the
that's
only
why I'm scared to get into a game like that, because it's like I'm never gonna pay you that much. I'm not gonna keep paying.
Those are the people that only play that game though, right? It's like, oh, I'm really into this one game. I'm not into video games normally, but
Sure.
I'm into this game and I'm gonna pay it for whatever amount and get,
Yep.
good stuff. But anyways, other than that, I've started Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes.
And so I played Dark Moon earlier this year. It was good. It was just it was kind of actually hard on my hands because you have to move a lot with the thumbstick and everything. It's not the best on my hands with the 3DS, but this game, it's improved in every way compared to Dark Moon.
So honestly, it's kind of a letdown that it's called Luigi's Mansion 3 and not like something else, because this is the definitive Luigi's Mansion game. It's like Pikmin 3. It's like those other games shouldn't even exist now. Like this game is that so much good. Like this is Luigi's Mansion. Play this.
Yeah, I feel like the previous game is just like, okay, it's 3DS. It's the gyroscope is a little inaccurate. There's some it's just lesser quality of life things, and then
it's not
in
as
here
good.
they just improved it in every way. So I think what I love about it now is still keeps that core of Luigi's Mansion, though, right?
Yep.
You go through the story, you try to save Mario and Princess Peach and Toad and King Boo. It's a direct sequel, so
And
King
you're
Boo is.
terrified. You get the cute little charming Luigi.
I love Luigi, man.
It's so cute. It's adorable.
It's like each time he makes a sound, it's like, oh my gosh, he's so scared of this. And yeah. I love when he's celebrating. He's like, Luigi. He's like grabs like an elevator button. I'm like, this is awesome. I like the premise of the level setup where it is a hotel and like it's not really linear as well. It's you go through like certain floors randomly, and I've only gone through the first 5 floors, so it's still pretty linear because it takes you floor to floor, and there's kind of a main mission, but there's also gyms to go to and try to get the extra things. I love the extra puzzles because they're very subtle, right? It's not really noticeable of grabbing like a gem. There's one where I went into a room and then it scared Luigi, but it like flashed like a target board. Like this random target board. I'm like, well, that's interesting. I wonder what I need to do with that. I tried to do the plumber thing technique. It's like, that ain't working. And then I just found a sword in the back of the room. I'm like, oh, let's
Sword?
Yeah, like this
Luigi
big
uses a sword?
Yeah, he sucks it in his vacuum, his little
Wait till you get the saw.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
Luigi's
like,
Mansion
right.
3 is dope, guys. I say it a long time. It's great.
And you just blow that sword in that board and it's like, all right, here's a gem. I'm like, wait, what? It's like those kinds of things that it's like, okay, I really need to get every gem because I really need to get into each and every room, suck everything up and interact with everything. It's so, I think that's really cool about this game too. It's so interactive in the environment. You can literally pick up every single object in that room. You can suck it into your little vacuum if you want. And that's how I play games too. I like to go in each and every room, make sure I'm doing everything that I can in that room. And if I can't figure it out, I was like, all right, I'll probably get back to it later.
There is a lot of returning. Yeah. You will return to several floors. You have to before you finish.
Sounds good. I love that type of style.
You'll come back with new equipment, new gear, and do other things.
Oh, man. And I love Luigi, too. That's a nice addition. It's a very cool mechanic. I just got to the floor.
You play co-op?
I haven't played co-op yet. I don't know who to play it with. You want to play co-op with me?
Your girlfriend?
Well, can I play it? Well, she doesn't have a Nintendo Switch Online account.
You could play local co-op with Luigi.
Well, she's not here. We're long distance.
Oh, I thought she was there. Didn't we just see her last week?
All right, we'll not get into that, but
okay.
No, we're long distance. Like
I
right
got you.
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to throw your business out there, but you're like, it's long distance. Like, wait a minute, I just saw her.
I mean, I was there last week, or no, 2 weeks ago. So,
but yeah, that's Jack and I played several levels together, just local co-op, and it was a blast.
Cool, great. Yeah, I can't wait to play more.
They have a local co-op like multiplayer, like mini games, like Mario Party stuff that you can do, and then they also have the Scream Tower, or whatever they call it, where it's like the battle thing. It's like a horde. You just keep going and going as far as you can. I really liked it. I really love this game, and I think I was tweeting about it when you tweeted about it, and I was like, I love this game so much more than I think I led on or people led on, and somebody was like, "Do you think it's better than Mario Odyssey?" It's like, yeah, wow. Like, oh yeah, it's way better. I seriously, not trying to exaggerate, I think Luigi's Mansion 3 is top 5 game on Switch. It's fantastic.
I played Luigi's Mansion 1, but it was fine. I didn't really like it that much, but from what I've heard, this is so much better.
It's nothing like probably the first one. Okay. And Dark Moon is better than the first one. And then this one is just like, oh, let's take it all the way up. It's very high quality. And I love doing it on a pro controller too. When I was facing the ghost, I'm like, thank God my hands don't hurt at all when I'm trying to like put my thumb everywhere to whack these ghosts. So
good boss battles, lots of variation in how you will attack them and how they kind of mix up your controls. A lot of trigger combos and things like that you're doing. It's good. Yeah,
and that's pretty much it.
Cool. Before we move on to the news, I do have see here. Yarn Angel says, quick Phoenix Rising demo thoughts. I did play Phoenix Rising, Immortals Phoenix Rising today on Stadia. They have a free demo exclusive to there. I liked it. It is Breath of the Wild. I jumped off a cliff. I glided all the way down. I fought some dudes when I was down there. It's a very colorful, like more vibrant Breath of the Wild type adventure game. So I'm very excited for it. I've already had it pre-ordered. The narrative is so much like jokey and fourth wall and self-deprecative than I ever expected it to be.
I love
Zeus
that.
starts like telling a story, but it's completely wrong. And the dude's like, you can't just start saying stuff. He's like, do whatever I want. Like, I just didn't expect it to be so comical. Like, I thought it would be, it's cartoony and it's probably aimed at, I thought it would be some of it, but it's like really that a lot, like at least in the demo, it's like right off the bat, I was like, oh, wow. I expected the game to have more of a like, Greek mythology, like education type aspect, not just like a, I was thinking more of like a Hercules, like, kind of have some funny moments with characters, but the story itself would be kind of the same. But I'm not sure if that's the case. Like this might just be like kind of a mockumentary type of deal. But I liked it. I liked it what I played on Stadia. My Stadia experience wasn't like super smooth today, but the game itself was good. So I'm looking forward to playing it. Cool. Still don't know how it's going to transfer to Switch. Like not
can it run?
Yeah, not convinced from the demo that it's going to be a great experience on Switch. I think it'll be okay. Ubisoft's a good developer, but yeah. Okay, so let's get into our news block, and let's start with today's story. For the very first time, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and Blade of Light head to the West. Now, this was the first Fire Emblem game that came out on NES in 1990. And you can expect to buy these for $6 digitally for a limited time. You can buy them up until March 31st.
That date sound familiar to anybody?
I don't know.
Just like those Mario games. This is the first time the title will ever be released outside of Japan. Now, they did cover some cool things that they're doing with it. You got bookmarks, you can rewind turns, you can control the speed of the player and the CPU. So you're getting some modern enhancements. It's not just a ROM dump. When they first started, I actually thought it was a Nintendo Switch Online announcement. I was like, oh, that's cool. They're going to add this to Nintendo Switch Online. And then they started talking about all the other stuff they're doing. A special anniversary edition was also announced for $50, and it will include a mini Nintendo power cover, an art book, a replica game case with an instruction manual, an NES cartridge art piece. It's like an acrylic NES cartridge with a sticker on it, and a sleeve, and a digital download of the game.
The collection looks so good.
I thought so until I realized it didn't come with the game. It comes with a digital
a physical version of the game.
I was really upset they didn't come with a cart.
It comes with other cool stuff.
Yeah, I know Garrett already. Yeah, we've already had this argument.
Pre-ordered on GameStop today.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, what are they gonna put like a 0.002 gig game on a cart?
Yeah, 30 megs. Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care about that. Like, put it on a cart because I'm not a collector, but like I have all of my Fire Emblem games. I want this to be with them. I want a physical copy of the game.
Well, you have.
Why are you making all this stuff about it?
You get the replica game box.
Why are you making an acrylic NES trophy thing and not just a cart of the game?
Oh,
I don't like it. I don't like it.
That's fair.
I don't like it. I don't like that I don't have a copy of the game. And I also, to be honest, I don't like that it's $50. I think $50 is a lot to offer for like, this is what I amounted to. Look, I think the art book looks cool and the whole package has a nice look to it. So I'm not trying to be too mean on it, but to be honest with you, this looks like stuff that they would hand out at like a conference. This is like swag bag.
I gotta go see what I paid for the Stardew Valley Collector's Edition that's coming, because I thought that was kind of cheap, to be honest with you. I thought that was a good price for it.
So, Donnie, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on promotional swag. I don't think it's promotional swag. I think it looks high quality. From saying, I don't really care actually much about the acrylic. I like more about the Nintendo Power cover. The box, the game box itself, looks really cool.
I like Mike
and the art book.
Most.
And I think as a collector, I'm not much of a collector. And so when I think of owning physical games, I don't really care. So when I buy collector's editions out there, if it's just a digital copy, I'm like, well, that's better for me because I don't have to put a freaking game cartridge in my Switch.
I'm fine with that. I wish the package had a little bit more to it. Because here's the thing. For me, and I can only speak for myself, right? I'm not making an opinion for others, just my own opinion. I am the type of person who I buy all my Fire Emblem games. I have totally sold so many of these art books and things that come in these packages that I don't care about because I'm never going to use them. Right? I'm not going to sit down and look at art of an 8-bit Fire Emblem game that came out 30 years ago. Like, it's just not me. Look, I may look at it once, right? When I get it, I'll take it out of the box, look at it one time, and then what's it going to do with it? It's going to go on the shelf and sit there for years. So I usually sell all that stuff off. because I usually want the game and like the steel book, or like maybe they come with a cool figure or something. Like I want that. I'm not here for the poster and the little art pieces and the postcards they put in there. Or what was the other Fire Emblem game that came with Fire Emblem Warrior Special Edition, came with like gigantic cards. They're like super sized versions of cards. Like, what the hell am I going to do with this? What is anybody doing with this? And I'm sure somebody out there has them on display, of course. I'm not taking anything away from you. It's just, it has no value to me. So here's the thing. I've bought every Fire Emblem Special Edition. When this first was announced, when I first saw the tweet, I posted the scream emoji face a bunch because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to buy this. It's going to have a cartridge like every other one. When I realized it didn't have the cartridge, that's basically when I told myself, I was like, all right, you can't just buy everything that Nintendo tells you to. At some point, you got to make some, some actual purchase decision with some logic behind it. And yeah, this is one I'm not going to do. Am I going to get the game? Yeah, I will. Digitally for $6. And I think that's interesting. I'm really excited the fact that it's the first Fire Emblem game. I'm not really excited to go play it. I can't imagine that I'm going to have what I would consider like a great experience just because of the age of the game. Like I got into Fire Emblem GameCube. So my knowledge of Fire Emblem is like very current. It's 3D. I played it on Wii. My favorite one was on 3DS. And 3DS is really when I became what I would say a Fire Emblem fan. I never pre-ordered a Fire Emblem game until 3DS. Right? So even I played them on Wii and I played them on GameCube. I just played them. I just picked them up in the store and started playing them. I wasn't like, in 2008, I would never have told you I'm a Fire Emblem fan. I would have been like, oh yeah, I played that. But now I am a Fire Emblem fan. Like I would say that now. So I think it's cool. I do think it's cool. I'm not necessarily sure that it, like, should it just go in Nintendo Switch Online?
That's another thing too. I think
make
it could
a couple extra bucks for it.
It's an anniversary.
And they put the bells and whistles on it. Like they didn't
did.
have to go back and localize it, the translation for it. They didn't have to. Didn't they make you said they were doing the bookmarks, the rewinds, and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you think they could have gotten more subscriptions with it? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah,
I think the people who are going to be into this already have Nintendo Switch Online.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're limiting this, and then I think months or a year later or something,
Maybe.
I think they'll stick it on.
I think it's
online.
immediately. I think it's immediately right
April
after.
1st.
Yeah,
Could
April
you
1st.
imagine paying for it on March 31st and then having it be free on Switch Online the next day? That would
suck.
Yeah.
But I could totally see that going.
But I don't think anybody's going to be buying it on March 31st. I mean, you're going to buy it.
Some
think a lot of people would.
scrolling on
You
the
think a lot of
eShop
people
might.
would? A lot?
Because they're
If
going
you're going to buy this game,
It's
you're
the
going to buy
last day. Oh my God, it's March 31st. It's
that's a
going
good
to end. I
point.
got to go buy
Yeah,
it.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
that's exactly what I was
Good
thinking.
point. Good point. I didn't think about that. I was thinking if you're wanting to buy this game, you're going to buy it now. Like, you're going to buy it sooner than you're not going to buy it.
Right.
Like, then you're going to buy it now. But you're right. You're right. Somebody will do a thing about how it's going away, and there will be people buy it. That's
It's like,
touche.
oh, it's $6. Let's
Touche.
just go for it.
We had a question. Mr. Pig wanted to know, what are our thoughts on the whole limited time thing? It seems that they're doing this more frequently. We now have Mario All-Stars, Mario 35, and now Fire Emblem, 3 things that are limited time releases.
This sucks.
It really sucks.
This is Nintendo doing stuff that I don't like them doing. And they get away with it because they're Nintendo, but I don't necessarily think it's because they're Nintendo, because I could see other people doing this too. I don't think it's just them, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what advantage or what good thing they expect to come out of it, other than to, I don't know, push people to buy now, which I don't think they need. Nintendo has enough buy now fans. The amount of people
$6.
the amount of people that tagged me today over this special edition, like they just said Fire Emblem limited release, and people are like, oh, I've got to buy it. I got to buy it now. Like even me, like I was excited to buy it when I first saw it.
It seems to be an anniversary thing. Both of these franchises have the anniversary attached to them.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I
still don't think that's a good thing.
No, I don't think it is either.
And I really don't like what the date is. It's March 31st. And we all know what that is. Mm-hmm. It's the end of their fiscal year.
Yes.
Of course.
It's purely because of business.
I don't have a problem with that either. I mean, personally, I don't have, like, if you're gonna make the end date something, if you're gonna put an expiration date on a game, sure, put it at the end of the financial quarter. Like, that makes sense to me. But why you would put it's a digital release anyway. Why it has an expiration date at any point is stupid. I don't like it, and so because of that and the lack of a physical game, like I'm just gonna get it digitally for $6.
Yeah. I actually want to go through it.
You're gonna do the whole thing?
Play. Yeah, I really do, and I think they give you enough.
It's 4x3, so it's not like
too.
it's not gonna fit your full screen and everything. Like,
oh yeah, that's
hopefully
fine.
it looks good blown up on the TV.
It's an NES game.
I know.
It's gonna look what it's gonna look.
I know, and so that's another reason. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $50. I don't know. There's like a value, threshold in me that I just feel like I can't cross here.
I mean, that makes sense. I think each of us have our own game or our own franchise where we have a threshold to go to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's out December 4th. Had a cool unveiling, right? They were playing Smash Bros. And they were talking like...
It was kind of cute.
And
I love those two boys arguing.
You don't know who Marth is? What a loser. Let me tell you about Marth. That was kind of
Pushed
cool.
up the glasses. It came out in 1990, actually.
In Japan.
I want somebody to make, I want like an Honest Game Trailers to make fun of this, because I totally could see that couch, like, who's Marth? Like, you know who Marth is? Came out in Japan in 1990, and I could just see the reaction from the other kids in the room looking at him like, what a dork.
What's a Marth? What's a Roy?
Yeah.
Romaine wants to know what the announcement of an official U.S. release of the official Fire Emblem, what old school Japan exclusive RPG should Nintendo release in English next?
I went looking for answers because if I wasn't prepared for this, I would have butchered this question, and I probably still am. I hate the fact that he put it JRPG. It can't be any other game. It has to be that exclusive genre. All right, so I found one that fits. Famicom Wars, the original Advance Wars, came out in 1988. It has been re-released on 3DS, DS, and Wii, a virtual console, only in Japan every time.
I did not know that.
I will say this. I don't have, obviously, I've said this a bunch. I'm not that old that I was into NES, and I definitely wasn't knowing what was coming over to America versus staying in Japan when the NES was a thing. So I don't think I have really any strong urge at all to go back and replay NES games. I think that's kind of why, like, I'm okay with this one not getting the, like, I don't have a strong urge to go replay this game. But if I was going to, I think a game like Fire Emblem or an Advance Wars would be the one I would pick. A tactics type game where the art style isn't so like important, like where like for all the modern things that we have with these sort of games now, they still really haven't all that change from move the unit on the map, do the combat, do the paper rock scissors thing. Like that is still fundamental. Whereas when you think of like platformers or shooters and stuff, it is really hard to go back to some of those these days. Like some of the games have just been improved upon so well. So I have two other answers, but I don't want to take up the whole time, so I'm going to let you guys answer. But that was my answer in the RPG from a bygone era that I want to see it come back.
So for me, I went looking for answers as well. I'm not, I don't go into old school games that much. But what I did find is like, okay, what other Fire Emblem games can we bring over then? And what I found was that, well, the Roy has a game that didn't release in the US. We need that game over here
Who's
too,
Roy?
right? Who's Roy?
The protagonist of Super Smash Bros. Melee.
You gosh darn right. Yeah, so he was in Fire Emblem Binding Blade. It came out in GBA in Japan only. And its sequel, The Blazing Blade, actually came out in the US as well, but not Binding Blade. So give us just like a GBA pack together. I think there's like 3 Fire Emblem games that you can pack together and just send it out. Nintendo Switch Online would be great.
Yeah, it'd be exclusive through April 1st.
Yeah, limited time release.
An art book for $100 and digital downloads.
It's for 3 games, so probably around $200, $250, somewhere around there. Yeah, Binding Blade would be great to see.
I like your idea, but I can't help but not say that if we're going to bring any Fire Emblem, and then I think this, like I'm okay with this one because it's the first one, and we've never had it. But if we're going to bring back Fire Emblem games, like bring back the GameCube, the Wii, and like Awakening, like do that. Don't do this. I don't care about the GBA Fire Emblem games.
They looked okay. I mean, at least give the game with Roy, like because Roy is a character that we know.
He's important. I get that.
Brothers. Martha's better, actually.
I'm just thinking like
is way better than Roy.
Remaster of Awakening.
No, you don't need that. You don't really need Awakening.
No, I do.
GBA. Well, yeah. It's
I don't know
3DS.
anything Fire Emblem.
3DS, dude. We could still play it.
I want
play
it
my 3DS.
big and beautiful on my TV, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's put some work into that.
My answer to this question was trending today. Did either of you see it?
The Stadia news? Sure.
No, not the Stadia news. I know it's like a over asked for thing that will probably never happen, but gotta localize Mother 3. I think that's
That
put
is
it in
the
a trilogy, give it an official release. That's what I want. That's probably the only one I would go out of my way to play.
That is the correct Nintendo podcast response.
Yeah, definitive answer.
If it actually ever happens, I don't think I would be on the show. I have no urge to play that at all.
I do.
Zero.
I don't think I should have to go download a fan translation to play this game.
Ah, that's a good segue into my actual answer for Romaine. It has nothing to do with old school or JRPGs. But one thing that I was following quite a bit during the Wii era that made me very salty, Nintendo bought the publishing rights to Fatal Frame, which they still own, a franchise that I really like. And in 2008, they made Fatal Frame 4, which is directed by Suda51 and made by Grasshopper, that they never released outside of Japan. And it bothers me a ton. And fans got a hold of the thing, and they made a fan release pack that you can download on the dark web and play it in Dolphin or whatever. It's like, this is ridiculous. Release the game. Here's the thing about the game. The game looks pretty good. Have you guys ever played Fatal Frame?
Never.
Even visually, today, in today's world, visually, the game looks pretty good. Doesn't look all that different than like Fatal Frame on Wii U. Very similar. The difference, I think, mainly... So in Fatal Frame, you play with a camera. It's like, it's like Selfie the game. You go around and take pictures of ghosts. And the pictures scare the ghosts. You can capture them with taking pictures of this magical camera. That's basically what the game is. And in Fatal Frame, it has like this Alan Wake thing where you have a flashlight and you shine it on them and they burst. With the exception that when you shine them on them in the Wii game using the pointer controls, it goes away from third person. It goes to first person. You get this really big close-up look at the ghost, and all this stuff starts shaking. You have all this stuff on the screen. It starts moving. You hear all the sounds. Looks legitimately like kind of like a scary game. I followed the development for this game for years and was on forums going, totally get a Fatal Frame game next year, guys. I'm telling you, I've got the inside scoop. I know all the things. Suda51 did it, and we never got it, and I look like an idiot, and that's the one that I actually want. You can keep your NES games in Japan, your GBA games on GBA.
No.
Let's bring actual games that matter to today's world over to America.
I would play it. That sounds interesting.
It looks really cool. All right, so the next one we had was Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity gets a new trailer and official artwork. Now, Rebecca, thank you for putting this in here. I'm going to pass the show to you. I didn't see the trailer.
Oh, the trailer. I feel like they're putting out lots of trailers. I think we've been getting one almost every single week.
Yeah.
In this one, it was pretty short. I think it was a minute long or not even that long. They showed Koroks will be hidden throughout the world. You can find them just like you did in Breath of the Wild. Hestu has also been revealed. He's been seen dancing in the Korok forest as he does. Zelda, Urbosa, and some soldiers were watching him. Didn't say if he was playable. He didn't look like he would be fighting. He was just, maybe he helps when you get
that was
Koroks.
one of the things I was going to ask, because I was sure that he was going to be able to play as him, but no.
They didn't say.
Man, I want to, like, I was thinking, like, who's the Street Fighter character that does, like, dance fighting?
I have no idea.
But that's what I was thinking, like, with Hestu. Like, he's just dancing around with, like, maracas.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Maybe and you hear, like, music and stuff as he just beats the hell out of people. I was like,
he looks like he's going to be part of the story. And Hestu appears to be the same age as he was in Breath of the Wild. He looks exactly the same. Do Koroks age very slowly? I don't know.
Aren't they like trees? I think that works. That checks out.
I guess so. He looks the same size as he was. Yeah. Like he doesn't look any different.
They turn hundreds of years old. And,
yeah.
I guess. We see many of the playable characters like the champions and Impa using their special fighting moves, as well as each of them jumping off of a tower and using their own paragliders, which looked super epic.
Oh, I did see that, yes.
Mm-hmm. We also got some official artwork released this week showing King Rome holding a royal claymore. Is this teasing that he may be playable too? I will be so disappointed if he's not, because he looks awesome.
Yeah, we're going to play as the king.
And if he's wielding a huge claymore, like, that's going to be awesome.
Jack wants to know, do you have any thoughts on how much more of Age of Calamity Nintendo and Koei are going to choose to show us before launch, And if soon, how soon before they stop?
I want them to stop already.
Yeah.
They've shown way too much.
I think they convinced us enough to play this game. Now give us a final launch trailer and we're good. I think we're good.
Now, I like that they only teased. Last week they showed us that mysterious character. I like that was maybe just a tease. I'm glad that they didn't go like deep into who this is and their motivations.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of stuff I want to find out by myself. I will be disappointed if they reveal that before it comes out.
I don't care as long as they keep it to what they've been keeping it to. They're showing us combat and characters. They're not showing us the story and the whole reason why I think so many of us are playing. So as long as that's not happening, totally good. I would actually be upset if we got like a big story-heavy trailer, like Breath of the Wild trailer, like that amazing trailer we got. I'd be upset if Hyrule Warriors did the same. I don't want to see that trailer.
Yeah.
I just want to go in completely blind on this one, if at all possible.
Yep. Same.
For sure.
Keep going, Rebecca.
Stardew Valley Update 1.5 version of the game will add split-screen co-op for the very first time. So the sole developer, Concerned Ape, has been teasing new features that we can expect in this upcoming 1.5 update to the game. And he will be adding split-screen co-op. Now, there already is online multiplayer added back in 2018, but each player needs their own version of the game to play together. So this will be the first time that more than one person can play together locally. He did clarify that PC will allow up to 4 players split screen, but consoles will be almost all will be limited to only 2. He's saying right now, which I think is fine.
I gotta let Victoria and Melissa know that. They're so deep in Animal Crossing. I don't think I can pull that out of it.
Once this comes, they would be really interested in this game, I think. He's also said before that the 1.5 update will also add a significant new piece of end game content. The ability to do things like move your bed to a different spot in the house, things you couldn't do before. There was other stuff. They're adding like different trees, banana trees, things like that. There's not a release date yet, but he has been working on it since at least April of this year. So it is, quite a ways into development. All of these updates to Stardew Valley are free. He has said they will always be free. Once you buy the base version of the game, you will never have to pay another cent after this. It's really a huge passion project for him. He loves the game and the community. Go support this game. You will sink hours and hours and hours into it with so much new content coming. I think the split screen is a feature that people have been asking for a long time.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of his story? And I read the book Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. And this is one of the anecdotes in that book. Is this developer. It's so cool to see how much success or this successful story he has with him. He did everything with this game, and like he basically invested all in the line for this game, and his wife supported him too for years. And I'm so glad to see it pays off. He's
a good one. I really am happy to support him. I will buy this on every version, every platform that it comes out. I want to support him and give him more money. The updates that he pours into this game. So there's mods for PC that fans make, and he'll go out of his way to fix things in the PC version of the game in order to let the mods work better.
That's so cool.
That's how much he loves the community. So. Good game, good guy. Looking forward to that update. That's upcoming.
I need to play more of this game. I have it on Switch and Vita, actually. So,
once this update comes out, it might be a good time to jump back into it because it's adding, all this new stuff. So,
sounds good.
I had a lot of thoughts just listening to this because I was immediately thinking of like the updates that we're getting in other like big games from gamer developers, and we've argued over whether or not they should be free, and then people are like, well, they put work into the game, they should be able to charge you again for it. And it's like, you got this guy over here who's just making updates and updates and updates in his game for years to come. He's not charging you at all, to the point where I'm sure the fans would love to just give him more money. They're like, can you just charge us? Will you please charge us?
People have said, we will pay. We will give you money.
It made me interested. Do you think would you like or not like if there was a way to directly support a developer like through the eShop? Let's say you buy a game and you love it and you just wanted to tip them. Like you could go to the eShop and just give them money.
I don't think a lot of people would do that.
I know it's a completely far-fetched idea. It's just in my head. I was like, I wonder with these games that people love so much, if there was a way, if there was a system, it doesn't have to be a part of the eShop. If there was a system that people could just show that appreciation.
Do you know what would be even better? The ability for me to gift this game to you.
Yes, of course. We would all like to be able to do that.
I would like a system like that. Now, it would probably just be a one-time gift kind of thing,
of course.
right? It's not going to be a recurring gift. I don't imagine it being like Patreon, where it's like a monthly subscription. And
I would think you need to do something universal that's dedicated to lots of developers. Maybe even just keep it just indie developers. But you wouldn't want to like just go through somebody's private PayPal. Like that doesn't feel like you'd want something uniform that you could do something like that. But I actually think you could have something like that exist. You could have a service. It's like, here are all these games. Here's how much money we supported. And with this money that you gave them, like we were able to make all these other things and, things like that. Maybe you can get like some direct, because it's not all that different than Kickstarter, but without the attachment that you're paying for a product. Like you just love them. And maybe like you get like a direct line of communication to them. Like maybe you can ask them questions or something. Like maybe there is some like trade-off like that you could have, but I don't think that's crazy far-fetched. This just, as I was listening to you talk about the story, that's kind of where my headspace was. I just kept going. I was like, that's not a bad idea.
I'm trying to think like the logistics of that. I think there would be a very few select developers that you would probably support other than just like gaining the game, right? Like I think of people that, they'll just probably do it one time. I'm trying to think of developers in my head that I would do it with, probably one or two. And I'm thinking of a service, they need to make money too. The service itself probably would need to be a business itself. So I don't know how much money would flow in there.
I wish they had leaned more into the Nindies branding and made it almost like its own section of the eShop.
Yeah.
And have something like that. Maybe it could be a Nindies program.
I love the idea.
Kind of subscription to it.
So I floated the idea a long time that I was actually excited to see them take. Is I said for a long time I didn't want a virtual console. I wanted them to release separate storefronts and separate apps for this. I would love an indie app, like an Indie World app eShop that's like a filtered version of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, check this out with its own look, its own style, its own storefront, and it's completely separated off.
And I feel like branding it as Nindies would be a draw for the Switch too, for Nintendo. People would be getting the Switch not just for Nintendo games, but they have these Nindies, which you can get them on PC and PS4 and wherever too, but they're Nindies. Here's a whole,
and I think the Nindy section. Or the Indie World or whatever Nintendo, the point is I wanted a place for Nintendo curated indie stuff to shine. Yeah. Not everything.
Definitely.
Right? There's a flood of independent mobile stuff and everything.
So many games.
Get rid of all of that, and here are the ones that we want to market. We've got deals. We've published with them. You've seen them in directs. We want to put all of that stuff here in this app that you put on your control panel. So whenever you're feeling the urge, you can go check it. And maybe we've got like a little news feed of updates and things like that. But like all of that stuff lives here. I've always wanted that to happen.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I would do that kind of thing as well, what you were saying for Concerned Ape. I wish something like that did exist, that I could show him more support.
We have Sean Capri in the chat, and he says, can confirm this, as in this show, better than that presidential thing that's going on. So we have that on good authority. We're doing better than those guys.
It's a low bar.
I'm glad we're a little better than that.
Last thing here, I wanted to plug Rocket League is having their Halloween event going on right now. It's Ghostbusters themed. Players can earn Ghostbusters cosmetics for completing the weekly challenges. They can also earn golden pumpkins that can be exchanged for rewards. And they have 2 limited time modes available starting on October 26th. Haunted Heat Seeker. Heat Seeker is so much fun. It's going to be haunted now. And Spike Rush. All of that ends on November 2nd. So go get it now if you're still into Rocket League, which is free to play now everywhere.
You can play it.
You can go play it for free.
I want to support them too.
You don't need Switch Online either.
We want to give you money. Make it charge for it again.
Yeah.
I love that everybody's into this like Halloween seasonal spirit. We're getting these updates everywhere, but I don't like that it's all focused on multiplayer. Like every bit of it in every game is multiplayer. There is no single player story Halloween content anywhere. It's like, hey, you can wear a pumpkin now. Come play our game. It's like, oh, never mind. Before we get into our questions, I would also like to plug that I have played and beaten Pumpkin Jack. I've beaten it for some time, but the embargo is actually Friday. So Lane and I recorded a little mini empire that we will post just our thoughts about the game coming out soon. But it's coming out on Switch. So, that's all I can say about it. So if you're interested, look out for that little review on the Xbox Empire, and we'll tweet it out Friday when the embargo's up.
Cool.
Questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Jason wants to know, when is Garrett going to fight me?
Okay, Jason, let's pull up a
Ooh.
calendar here. All right, let's actually set a date.
We should do it on
Guys-
Halloween with you guys dressed up.
Whoa.
Well, I wish we could do that, but probably not. I
We
need
have
some
the
practice.
technology. We have the power.
We have the power. All right, Jason, I'm putting out a date here. I want to see if you accept it. I'm gonna say Saturday, November 21st. I need a month. I need a month to practice. Okay, so how about sometime? Preferably night. We will stream on twitch.tv/PSVG.
You're giving him a month to practice. He's gonna crush you. You're gonna get
and
wrecked.
and I can't wait till Jason crushes me to death. But I want to get a fighting chance. So
See,
give me
here's
a
the
month.
thing, though. You're missing. Let me be your agent here.
Are we talking about Smash Bros? Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know what we're
Yeah,
talking
we're talking
about.
about
Okay.
Smash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what needs to happen.
Yes.
We have a 3-round bout of Smash where Garrett just gets absolutely just trounced.
Yeah.
Then we do some sort of Mario Kart thing, and then we close with a game of chess. We've got to give Garrett like you can't just walk into Jason's domain and just live in that world and not expect him to come back, right? He's got to return the visit in some way. If we're gonna have a full on duel, then we should honor like the rules of the duel. You're just on his turf, man. Why are you giving him home field advantage?
I'm giving him home field advantage because it used to be my advantage, but I became very, very rusty.
Are you gonna use
and
Roy?
he's probably gonna destroy me.
I believe in Garrett.
I'm not gonna use Roy. Come on now. You think I'm a plebe?
What's a
Come on.
Roy?
What the Roy? He came out in 2005.
I thought he was the main character of Smash Bros.
More this better. I'm trying to figure out my main character again because my main character in the recent Smash Brothers is Ness, which
Ooh,
is fine.
Good one.
He's a fine character.
Can't beat Falco with him.
Well, okay. Falco was my main in Melee, actually. But once he got to the new move set in Brawl, it threw me off.
Oh.
I could not do but like I try to play Falco a little bit in this game. It's like it's better, but it's not Melee move set he used to.
Okay. I had grand visions of a Falco v Falco. I
It
was
could
like,
be.
oh man. For the rights to never use Falco again, loser goes home.
Oh, that's fine. I'll probably won't play Smash Bros. Again.
You see like the wrestling promoter in me? I'm keep trying to find angles.
But yeah, play a game of chess with me, Jason.
All right, November 21st.
That's
Penciling
my
it in.
pitch. That's my request. We'll see if
Ball's
Jason
in your court,
agrees.
Jason.
Yeah, ball is in your court.
Get wrecked.
Steven wants to know, what's your favorite Mario sports game?
Oh.
No motorsports, no kart,
Duh.
sport.
Yeah, I'm not even going to answer.
Oh yeah,
We
you're
know
not gonna-
Dobby's.
Is it tennis?
I think it's baseball.
Something like that. I'm gonna say actually Super Mario Strikers. I love
Good game.
that soccer game, man. Like I wish it came back. I
Top
don't know.
soccer
Is it,
game. Like best
Yeah,
soccer
it-
game.
It's a very good soccer
Yeah.
game. Why isn't it back? Why isn't it not on the
Soccer's
Switch?
huge. FIFA sells tons. Like soccer's a big deal. Like I
I feel
don't
like
get
there's
it.
a severe lack of Mario sports games on the
On
Switch.
Switch.
We only have tennis.
Yep,
Mhm.
you're right.
That's all.
On
The
Switch.
only Mario sports game that I've ever played is I've played 2 of the tennis ones. I played, what was it, Aces? I sold that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I really would like to play what's the baseball one called? Sluggers.
Sluggers. Yep. I was gonna say
didn't know that
Super
one.
Smash Ball or something. I just my mind was like a casino of like Nintendo terms. I was like new, super, triple.
No, I have never played Sluggers, but I would if
Sluggers
they
is
made
fun.
a new one.
Yep.
Because baseball's my favorite, so I would do that.
I like all Mario sports games for the most part. I could do without most of the like the horse racing stuff, but even the sports mix games I think are good. I oddly really liked Mario Basketball and would love to see like a full Mario Basketball. It's kind of like an NBA Jam thing. I think that would be fun. But yeah, considering that we don't have a ton of support from EA, and we do have some from 2K, but Switch is not a really great place for sports games to begin with.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see more sports games coming out on Nintendo, and I think we will. They're typically never there like early. Those are typically things that kind of flow in after they kind of get the big wave and get the system going. So I expect we'll see some more soon.
Cartlife wants to know, what do you think the chances are that Breath of the Wild 2 will focus on and be playable primarily as Zelda? He says it's time.
I think that is a fan-made expectation that they want that Aonuma and Nintendo don't care about it at all, and I don't think it's happening at all. I'm willing to be surprised. I would love to see it. I would. I'm not opposed to it, but every time that they've addressed it, they've almost blown it off. Like, I think the last time he was questioned about it, like, AG was like, I don't know why people keep saying that. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, somebody really should quell that down a bit. It's like, let's kind of suppress that a little. You're all just going to be left upset.
I don't think she'll be playable, but I think she will have more of a presence in this one.
Oh, I think she has
For
to.
sure.
Yeah.
It's a companion
Yeah.
kind of the way, yeah.
I would love it. But I think everybody just they're wanting it to kind of be something that it's not, right? They're wanting to take Zelda, the game, in a different path, and I don't think Nintendo wants to do that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's ultimately where it comes down to. They don't. I'm not sure that they want to make like a companion game and have all this dialogue and it be like a Last of Us thing where you have these two characters. Like, I don't think they want to do that at all, and I don't think they want to give the impression that they want to. So,
Ryan wants to know, what games do you have in your backlog that you really want to play, but you're afraid to start because of the huge time commitment?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh
this
boy.
is your question.
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
It's
I
really
think
my
Garrett.
question. I actually went through my Switch library and I'm like, oh crap. Like,
You have a whole app dedicated to this. What are you talking about?
I have God Galaxy to go through, yes. And oh gosh, the GG app. Yes, ggapp.io is a very good backlog tracker.
Get on it.
Me and Rebecca
Are you guys getting
into it.
royalties for this or something? Like every week?
No, I love that app.
And you can join the Discord at... No, I'm just kidding. No, so probably the games on Switch that I really would like to get to, but I'm just afraid to start it, is Dragon Quest XI-S. I have it. It's in my backlog. I'm afraid to play it because every time I hear this game, guys, they're just like, oh my gosh, it's so long. Oh my gosh, I have to repeat this scene for like 20 hours. I'm like, that's scary. Even for me, like that's a little too much.
Sure.
Where you have to, play like over 100 hours, which I've only really done very few games. Persona 5 is one of them where I was like, I'm willing to go through the game over 100-hour mark. Dragon Quest XI-S, though, I may start it and see how it is and go through it a little bit, but man, oh man. And then those 3DS JRPGs, man. Like, I like them. I do. It's just, there's just so many hours you got to dedicate towards them.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer for that. I have games on my backlog, but it's not that I'm afraid to start because of a huge time commitment. It's just that I'm playing other stuff. Don't tell people there's a promo code for a discount, isn't it?
If you put Rebecca Force Minute.
Don't tell people that. They'll believe you.
I don't really have a backlog on Switch. I've played most. If anything, I feel like I'm running out of things to play. I just started. That's why I bought the Red Lantern. That's why I bought Roki. I've just been throwing money at indie games. I bought Twin Breaker, which I never finished playing on PS4. I got it on Switch again. I've bought maybe 5 or 6 Switch games this week just to get into playing some stuff. I wanted to go back through BioShock, but when all the new games started to come out, like I didn't. So I guess it counts. Like I still would want to go through it, but it's not a priority to me. I don't feel like I have to. I've already beat the game before, so I'm not like, I need to get back to BioShock. It probably would have been Deadly Premonition 2. I played the game this week. It's gotten several updates. I've been updating that game for what feels like 2 months now. And I played it, and 10 minutes in, it was doing all the same stuff it was doing before. I deleted it.
Oh no.
It's over.
It
You were
didn't
done.
help.
I'm done. It still runs bad. It's handheld and on TV. I'm over. I'm no longer going to try to make that a thing. It doesn't fall into the backlog, but there is something I've been putting off for a while now. Like I said, I've been buying games, like just trying to get into something. But the game that I haven't bought yet is Hades. And
Oh my gosh,
Hades
Donnie.
is like so many people's game of the year on Switch, and I haven't bought into it because it seems like it requires a lot of time. It's not a game style that I've ever really enjoyed, so I'm a little gun shy to jump in. I've been kind of waiting for a sale. I do want to play it just to even say that I played it almost, because I want to bring that to the podcast. But I mean, we've got Garrett for that too.
Garrett's
so
checking his hours or something.
I'm checking my hour count right now. on Hades.
So that's the scary thing with all
everyone's
these
talking
games.
about this.
With all these games coming out soon, it's like I don't know if I have time for Hades, so I haven't bought it yet. So it's not really in the backlog, but I'm just kind of putting it off. Yeah, until like Black Friday or something. But even then, like I have this little window right now because I'm selling my Xbox this weekend, preparing for next gen. So I have this little window right now where I have about 2 weeks of dedicated Switch time that I can really play something. And then once this 2 weeks is over, that's it. Like, yeah, my gaming time is allocated like through January. Like it's over. I'm playing Hyrule Warriors. I got Cyberpunk. I got Valhalla. Like I am toast for a couple months after these 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't know. Like if Hades is something I could get through in a weekend or so, like that's the other thing. I played Axiom Verge, right? I played it last week. I kept playing it. I beat 3 or 4 bosses in it, but I'm not like really enamored with like the world of the story. I don't feel like I need to finish it. I'm like, I got it. You know, it's doing it. It has nothing like Ori. Like I have no drive to complete Axiom Verge. It's kind of where I am. Like, and that's what I worry with Hades.
Let me try to convince you a little bit with Hades. I've played 4 hours of it, so not much. Right, I've probably in like 10 to 15 runs of this game. It continuously impressed me every run.
But you like games like this?
No, I don't. I don't like roguelikes that much. Actually, I give up on them.
Didn't you like Dead Cells?
No, I mean Dead Cells was all right, and then like I'm thinking of other games. Enter the Gungeon. Yeah. I wanted to like. Binding of Isaac, I wanted to like. There's a lot of roguelikes I wanted to like, but it's just like, nah, I'm losing progress. But this game is probably. I need to play more of it. I need to play more of it, right? Like after Luigi's Mansion, I've set priority. Luigi's Mansion 3 is the game I want to beat before Halloween, and then I'll go back to Hades and be fine. Every time I do a run, there's just a little bit more depth to the game, and I think. Every time you invest into this game, the more you're going to get out of it. So like it'll probably be in the tens of hours before you beat this game.
Looks like it's 20 to 30 hours to beat based off.
It depends on how good you are too.
That's a problem.
Well, people, I mean, Josh beat the game, so it's achievable.
Oh, speaking of them, Board with Video Games had a developer over to talk about the game. So if you guys don't normally listen to Board with Video Games, make sure you go check out that episode if you're really into Hades. I see several people in the chat talking about Hades. If you want to hear about Hades, they had one of the developers on their show. But yeah, that's one I've just been hesitant to jump in on, and I don't know why. Like I totally jumped in on the Red Lantern, but I also thought Red Lantern would be like a softer.
This might be a good counterpart to the Red Lantern, something that you're more looking for.
That's a good
Sounds
point.
like it has the things that you wanted in the Red Lantern.
So good writing, dude.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's so good.
I've heard nothing but good things. Like I honestly do think you would like this, Donnie.
Okay, Nintendo Shack, I'm going to buy Hades right now. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it. And like I said, now's the time to do it. If I ever had time, the time is right now.
I think you would like this more than the Pokemon DLC, to be honest with you.
I sell my Xbox on Sunday. And from that point until November 10th, I have nothing to play but Switch. Well, I have a PlayStation, but I'm not going to play it. Nobody's going to play that. So it's going to be Hades. I'm just going to play Hades, I guess. Hopefully I like it. If I play it and I don't...
You sold it, Garrett.
I hope you do too, man, because it's really good.
The wake behind me is littered with the carcasses of roguelites that I've tried and never played. I mean, I normally don't get past an hour or two of these games before I'm like, that whole die and wash, rinse, and do it all over again, that just never does much for me.
I feel like if you don't like this one, then it really isn't for you.
Yard Angel says, if you don't like it, blame Garrett.
You could do that, okay? I'm just saying, this game, man, it's something else.
I want to, like, I always, anytime a game bubbles up to have like that type of fanfare, I want to play it just because, right? Because we'll eventually do like our favorite games of the year, stuff like that, and it would be, I think it would be, it'd be a negative to not at least say like, hey, I tried it. So I like doing that. So I'll buy it and I'll give it a try. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a strong go this weekend and see how it goes.
I'll play a few more runs before the next.
It's good on Switch too.
It's great on Switch.
Okay, because that was another concern, that it would be, hazy and not run well and slow down.
No, it's playable. It's definitely playable. More than playable than Witcher. Let me tell you.
Okay,
we're comparing it to that.
You've sold me. You and the internet and everybody that loves it. You've sold me. I will give it a go. I know everybody else is playing it, so I might be able to get some help. I know Kevin's playing it. Josh's playing it, so I might be able to get some help. Cool.
Time for a few more.
It's an hour 40 almost.
Is it really? Oh my god.
I thought it was going to be a short show.
It does not feel like it's been that long.
That's because you're having fun. Time flies when you're having fun. So that's going to do it. I'm going to wrap up here for Bland Explosion and Forrest Minish, a.k.a. DK Magpie.
Can I say something else?
Sure.
One more thing. I just want to say that PSVG, it has an extra life.
Yes,
we're doing very, very well.
Very well. You guys are crushing it.
We're crushing it, basically. So we are over the $4,000 mark now, and we still have a couple weeks left before the big day. So November 7th is the big day. I know Kevin and Josh are streaming 24 hours that day. So probably kind of plug in for that. I will be streaming tentatively for 2 Sundays, November 8th, and then the following Sunday.
Are you going to do 24 hours?
No, 2 12 hours. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm splitting. I can't. I mean, I've done the 24-hour thing. It's just like, I don't think I could do it with my lifestyle right now.
I understand.
I offered this to Kevin and Dev. I don't think they've taken me up on my offer yet, so I'll offer it to Garrett and the folks that are in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
The shacker that gives Garrett the first bid over $30, I will personally ship the PSVG North Face backpack to. I've totally offered this for Extra Life. I would love to help the cause any way I can. I got this as promotional merch for ordering our shirts for the house party, and it just sits here. It's an awesome North Face backpack. It's got the PSVG logo on it on the front. So if you want to rep PSVG like nobody else has, $30 to Garrett's Extra Life. The first Shack listener. You got to go in there. You got to say, I heard this on Shack. $30. You send me your address, and you will get this backpack.
I wish I was eligible for that.
So if you search up and just Extra Life, and then you could probably search
or
up
more.
the team.
You could do more than 30. 30 or
more.
More
than 30, yeah. And you just search up the team, PSVG. I am one of the rosters in there, Garrett Bland. You could probably donate from there. Or you can reach me on Twitter.
Did you say what Extra Life is for people who don't know?
Extra Life is a fundraiser to raise funds for children hospitals all around the country and maybe global. I'm not sure about that. But then there's a big day, November 7th, where tons of gaming groups come together and stream for 24 hours to raise funds. And then organizations gives a lot of incentives to just raise money for kids. I think this year is very special just because of this trying times. We really want to make sure our hospitals are okay, especially our children hospitals. So yeah, that's what Extra Life is all about. And I think PSVG is repping it quite well. And I'm very proud of what we're doing this year, for sure.
As you should be. Okay, so that's going to do it for us this week in the Nintendo Shack. I hope you guys liked it. Chat, as always, you were lovely. We'll catch you next week. Good night, Koopalings.
Bye-bye.